welcome to my beginning mini-series. I'm Morgan, and thank you for joining me. Today we're going to work on opening up our chest and our heart. This is a really good class for if you work out and you work out your chest, or if you sit all the time, or just everyday movement. It's good for posture, and this is completely beginner friendly. We're going to really focus on our form and how we're moving, and it's going to be a short, quick class, so it's really good to do in the morning when you wake up or before you go to bed. Anyway, let's get started. Hi guys, welcome to class number 4 of my beginning mini-series. We're going to start at the back of our mat in a comfortable seated position. I'm actually sitting on my shins here, but if that's not comfortable for your legs, sit on your bottom. And we're going to start by just setting our intention and breathing. We're going to start to activate our yogic breath. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose. It's good to gently close your eyes here. Not only am I breathing through my nose, I'm also trying to breathe into my diaphragm area, so directly below my rib cage and in my abdominal area. Connect to your breathing. Set your intention for the class. This class, we're going to try to open up our heart, open up our chest cavity, strengthen our back. To have an open heart, you also have to have a strong back, so we'll be working on that. On your next inhale, flutter your eyes open, and we're going to bind our hands behind our back. So I'm interlacing my fingers together. I'm just opening up through my chest. I'm rotating my shoulders behind my back. I'm dropping them away from my ears, and I'm just doing this gentle chest stretch. For those of you that drive a lot or sit a lot, if this is a lot for you, you could grab opposite elbows. And those of you that have reverse prayer, you can take that as well. Just really breathe and open up. Drop your head back if that feels good. And we're going to start creating movement now. So we're going to take an inhale, breath open to the heart up to the sky. We're going to exhale, we're going to surrender our forehead down to the earth. If it feels good, you could go ahead and allow your shoulders to drop. Inhale, keeping that bind, come back up. Exhale, round and fold. Inhale up. We're going to grab opposite elbows. Exhale, fold. Last one. Inhale up. Exhale, let's unbind our arms. And we're going to walk our hands out, and we're going to come into a child's pose. So I'm walking my fingers out towards the top of my mat. I'm on the teepee fingertips. I'm going to take an inhale breath. I'm going to exhale, relax everything onto the ground. So I'm allowing my chest to fall forward, my head to fall heavy. I'm using my hands to push my sit bones back towards my heels, and I'm breathing. 2 breaths. Look up if you want a deeper stretch in your sides. 1 more breath. Exhale, we're going to push through into our tabletop that we talked about in our last video. So quickly review: wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale, breath. We're going to drop our pelvis down, look up, open our hearts up to the sky. So it's a gentle back bend here, very gentle, pressing your pelvis down. Exhale, round through the spine, drop your head, and push back. So we're going to be very gentle to our lower back, slow and controlled movements, and move with your breath. It's going to help you move and get deeper into the posture. Inhale, look up, drop your pelvis down, release through your shoulders, open up through the chest. Exhale, round the back, press back into your child's pose. 2 more. Inhale, forward, look up. Exhale, back. Last one. This is really good to open the backside body up, prepare us for our practice. Inhale up, and this is our last one. So we're just going to stay here for a minute. Sometimes it feels good to look to the right, back to center, look to the left, back to center. We're going to exhale, press back. We're going to curl our toes under, and we're going to push back into our downward facing dog for 1 breath. Press back into downward facing dog, and I'm going to look at my fingers and walk forward. Uttasana, forward fold. And I'm going to inhale, press through my heels all the way up. Root to rise, hands down to Samasthetihi, Tadasana. So now we're going to take that bind behind our back. Open our heart up towards the ceiling. Breathe here. We're going to call upon our core next, and we're going to come into a high lunge. So option to keep the bind here or unbind your hands. But we're going to take our right foot back first. So inhale, lift up your right toes. Exhale, breath. We're going to move with our breath. We're going to pick up our right foot and walk back to the back of the mat. Inhale, open. We're in a high lunge here. Look up if that feels comfortable for you. Exhale, release your hands up to the sky. All right, so with your high lunge, you could heel toe your foot to the left-hand side of your mat. Make sure your left knee is over your left ankle. Right leg is active, hip points are pulling up towards the sky, and breathe. Let's create some movement here. We're going to inhale, look up, strengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, goal pose. Squeeze your shoulders in, pull your heart through. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, goal post. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, goal post. Last one. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, goal post. We're going to drop slightly on our right knee. So I'm going to slow and controlled. I'm going to lean forward, frame my left foot with my hands, drop my right knee, release it down to the earth, release the top of the foot down to the earth. Inhale, rise up, low lunge. And we're doing this low lunge because I'm going to show you a twist here that's going to really open up our heart. So inhale, hands to heart center. Place your right foot on the inside of your right hand on the inside of your left foot, Inhale, lift up your left arm, look up to the sky, open arm twist. You can look down if you're feeling wobbly or if it's not comfortable for your neck. Breathe. Exhale, we're going to bring our hands back to center. We're going to take our right elbow on the outside of our left knee. So watch carefully. Right elbow, outside of left knee. I'm going to lean, hinge forward. Make sure my left knee is still over my left ankle. And then I'm going to look up towards my left elbow. So my hands are at prayer position on my left-hand side. I'm pushing knee to elbow, elbow into knee, and then pushing my hands together to open up through my chest here. Breathe. Hinge forward just slightly on your right knee. Try to keep your hips in line and breathe. Pull your left hip back a little bit. One more inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Slow and controlled. We're going to put our right hand down now, and our left hand is going to point towards the back of the mat, and we're going to look at our left hand. If you're here and you're comfortable, you could go ahead and grab the back leg and start pulling it towards you. So I'm opening up through my chest, looking over my shoulder as I'm pulling my foot closer to my bum. Breathe here. Left leg is active still. It's hugging in towards my belly. I'm not letting it fall. I'm breathing. Exhale, slow and controlled. Release. Frame your left foot again. Heel toe it back in to the middle of your mat. Lift up on your right foot. And now I'm in this runner's lunge position, opening up my heart. I'm going to come into half moon here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop my right foot up just a tad bit. My left hand is going to go to the left hand corner of my mat. You could use a block here. And then I'm going to gently lift up my right foot all the way to the sky. I'm going to put my right hand on my hip and breathing here. So I want to look like my body is stacking, my hips are stacking on top of each other. This is half moon. If you have a block, you can put it under your left hand. We're breathing here. 2 breaths. Last breath. Exhale, we're going to bring our right hand down to the ground. We're going to slowly bring our right foot back down to the mat, back where it was, into our runner's lunge. We're going to exhale, press through our left leg real quick. So I have like a wide-legged triangle position, wide-legged pyramid, and I'm folding forward. I'm pushing my right hip forward as I'm pulling my left hip back, and I'm breathing into my left hamstring. Oh yeah, you'll feel this one. Breathe. Exhale. Plant your hands on the ground. Bring your left foot back to meet your right. We're going to come into a plank position. Hold it. We're going to strengthen our back. Breathe. It's okay. Only here for a second. Breathe. Exhale, come down to your elbows. Keep that booty down. Again, to have a soft front, we have to have a strong back. So breathe into your back. Exhale, release. Down into our Sphinx position. So I'm pressing my elbows into the ground. Elbows are directly below my shoulders. Wrists are directly in line with my elbows. I'm lifting my heart through. I'm pulling my heart through. Lifting the crown of my head up by pressing my pelvis into the ground. And breathe. One more breath. Exhale. We're going to release down to the ground. And we're going to do 2 little baby locusts. So again, trying to strengthen our lower back, or just our back in general. We're going to place our head on the ground. Frame your chest with your hands. And on an inhale, we're going to lift up our head just off the ground. Our hands are still on the ground. Take a good breath. Exhale, release. Inhale up. Press your pelvis into the ground, activating your legs. Press your legs into the ground. See if you can lift a little bit higher. Exhale, release. All right. If you're feeling strong, we're going to lift up our head again, our chest, and our hands. So inhale, lift, take a breath. Exhale, slow and controlled back down. Last one. Go all out, lift as tall as you can. And breathe. Exhale, plant your hands. Press back up. I'm stretching out my body and pressing back into a child's pose variation, more like a puppy pose. And then I'm going to curl my toes under. Downward facing dog for a breath. Look up at your hands, tippy toe to the front. Uttasana, just for a breath. Bend your knees. Come all the way up to standing. Exhale, Samastatihi. And we're going to bind our arms again. So roll your shoulders back on your chest. Breathe here. I'm going to find a good spot to get centered on my mat. I'm pressing my feet into the ground, lifting up my toes, pressing them back down, pulling my shoulders back, opening up my body. Breathe. I'm going to exhale. I'm going to bring my left foot back now to the back of the mat, very slow and controlled, like we did the first time. Now we're in a high lunge. Unbind your hands. Bring them up to the sky. My hip points are up. Really pressing down my right leg, my right heel. I'm making sure my knee is going towards the pinky side foot. Right knee over right ankle. And I'm breathing here. Inhale, breath. Exhale, goal post. Inhale, arms lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, goal post. Try to keep your lower body exactly where it is. Sink a little bit lower if you came up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, goal post. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, goal post. Last one. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, goal post. Hold it. Squeeze. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hands are heart center. Look down at your right foot. Frame your right foot. Come down on your left knee. Come down on the top of your left foot. Really set this up. Make sure your right knee is over your right ankle. Lift up. We're in our low lunge. We're going to release our left hand down to the ground, inside our right foot, and we're going to lengthen through our right hand. Breathe here. Look up if you want to challenge your balance. If you're wobbly, look down. Breathe. Stack your shoulders. Squeeze your shoulders. We're allowing our heart to open up, our chest to open up. Last breath. Exhale. Hands come to frame your foot. Set your foot up again if it wobbled over a little bit. We're going to inhale, lengthen through the crown of our head, through our hands. Exhale, we're going to bring our left elbow to the outside of our right knee. And we're going to press knee to elbow, elbow into the knee. Bring your right hand on top of your left and really press it away, looking over your shoulder, opening up. If you're wobbly here, just look down at your right foot. Press the ground away. Press everything away. We're opening up through our chest here. Breathe. One more breath. Exhale, look down at your foot. Come back to center. Frame your foot. Come up on the ball of your left foot. So now we're in a runner's lunge position. We're going to come into that half moon pose. So I'll show you what it looks like with the block. You put the block in the right hand corner of your mat. We're going to inhale, hop our left foot in a little bit. Plant your hand on the block if you have a block. Ground down through your right foot. Inhale, lift up through your left foot. And as you lift your leg high, we're going to lengthen through the crown of our head here too. And then open up your hip, flex your left foot, and we're in half moon. I'm looking down for stability. If you feel strong, you can lift your left arm up. You want your body in a T position. So inhale, lengthen. Find a spot that's not moving. That's your drishti point. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, slow and controlled. We're going to bring our leg back about where it was before. Frame your foot, and we're going to go into that pyramid pose, so to get our right hamstring. So really bring your right hip back as you push your left hip forward, and you're going to feel this stretch right here in your right hamstring. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, fold. If this is a lot for your hamstring, get a block. 2 hands on blocks. That will help. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. We're going to be here for a second. Stretch that hamstring. Feel good. One more breath here. Exhale, plant your hands. Bring your right foot back to the back of the mat. And we're going to come into plank. Really press the ground away here. Keep your shoulders directly over your wrist. You could hug your legs together for stability. Lengthen through the crown of your head all the way to the heels of your feet and breathe. One more breath. Exhale, come down to your elbows. Lower your booty down and breathe. Press the ground away through your fingers. Hug everything into your core. Breathe. One more breath. Exhale, release your pelvis. Slow and controlled, Sphinx pose. Release the tops of your feet. Press your pelvis into the ground. Press your fingers into the ground. Shoulders directly over your elbows. Wrists directly away from your elbows as well. Lift up through the crown of the head. Breathe. This is a great posture to do for lower back pain, to open up your heart, to strengthen your back. One more breath. Exhale, release down. Forehead comes on top of your hands. Hands are stacked together. Come back to your intention. Come back to your breathing. We're almost done. Okay, on your next breath, we're going to bring our left, we'll do our right arm first. We're going to bring our right arm directly out of the shoulder socket. Palm faces on the ground. Right ear comes to the ground. Come up on the ball, on the fingers of your left hand. And gently roll over, keeping your right hand where it is, onto your right hip. Okay, you could stay like this with your legs straight. Or you could bend your left foot and plant the sole of your foot down on the ground. You can even bend your right leg as well and plant the right sole of the foot on the ground beside your left. You could bring your fingers to the top of the mat, or you could bind your hands to lift up your left arm and place it around your back onto the surface below your back, so onto the ground or your mat. And breathe. Exhale, release your hand if it's bound. Bring it back beside your face. Slow and controlled. On your next exhale breath, roll onto your stomach. As slow as you came into it. We're going to immediately go on the other side, so the left arm comes directly out of the socket. Come up on the fingers, tent them on your right side. Gently roll onto your right hip. Either keep your legs straight or plant the right sole of your foot down on the ground. If it feels comfortable, you can bring the left foot beside your right. Breathe. If you want, you can bring your right hand to the top of the mat. Or you can inhale your right hand up and behind you. Last breath. Inhale your arm up to the sky. Bring it back beside your face as slow as you came into it. We're going to release our right leg, and then we're going to slowly roll on to our belly. When you're here, we're going to frame our chest with our hands. We're going to push back into our child's pose. Really release your shoulders down, release your forehead down, release your chest down to the mat for a breath. Exhale, seated. So I'm just going to cross my ankles and sit back. And we're going to do some gentle spinal twists and then close our practice. So on your next breath, inhale your arms up high. Make sure your head is lengthening, your spine is straight. Exhale your left hand to your right knee, right arm comes behind you, look over your right shoulder. Breathe here. Just relax into the posture. Every inhale, we're lengthening through our spine. Exhale, we're twisting a little bit deeper. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, right hand to left knee. Left hand comes behind you. Look over your left shoulder and breathe. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Exhale, come back through to center. Place your hands on top of your knees, and we're going to connect back to our breathing. Notice how your body feels. Does your chest feel more open? Did you release any tension from your back, from your chest, from your shoulders? Are there still places where you need to release tension? Breathe and reflect. On your next inhale breath, we're going to sweep our arms up over our head, all the way up, creating a ball of energy that we just created. Exhale your hands down through the heart center. Bow your head, thank your body for the practice. Exhale, flutter your eyes open. And namaste. Thank you for joining me at this mini practice that we're doing. Don't forget, there was a lesson that I did before this. I will link it in the description below. And tell me how you did. Tell me what you want to see next time. Comment down below and let's chat.